she can see you, so just do a thumbs up when you start.
Are we gonna see her on that?
Yeah. I have it on speaker view, so once you start speaking.
Okay. We're live.
Good evening. Can I get a thumbs up, Stan? Am I good to go?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. All right. Good evening. As chairperson of the Hartford Board of Education, I hereby call to order the July 1st, 2025 special meeting to order. I wish to extend a warm welcome to everyone present and to our television viewers. The board and I are pleased that you have joined us tonight as we vote to appoint the next superintendent of Hartford Public Schools. This is a special meeting, and the item that will be voted on this evening has been posted as required by state law. This special meeting of the board is open to the public. As this is not a regular meeting, there will be no public comment at this evening. Decorum and courtesy are important elements in effective public meetings. Please silence your cell phones or communication devices and refrain from talking while others are speaking. Since it is legally mandated that proceedings be accurately recorded, I may have to ask for order periodically should noise begin to interfere with our recording capabilities. I am pleased that you have taken this time to join us this evening. We are very proud of the school system and thank you for your interest in Hartford Public Schools. This will now be read in Spanish.
Buenas noches. El presidente de la Junta de Educación de Hartford ha llamado a orden esta reunión ordinaria de la Junta del 1 de julio del 2025. Damos una cálida bienvenida a todas las personas presentes y a nuestros televidentes. La Junta Directiva y yo nos complace contar con su presencia en la votación de esta noche para nombrar al próximo superintendente de las escuelas públicas de Hartford. Esta es una reunión especial y todos los asuntos que serán discutidos o votados en esta tarde han sido notificados como lo requiere la ley estatal. Esta reunión extraordinaria de la Junta Directiva está abierta al público. Al no ser una reunión ordinaria, no habrá comentarios públicos esta tarde. El decoro y la cortesía son elementos importantes en reuniones públicas eficaces. Por favor, silenciar sus teléfonos celulares o dispositivos de comunicación y absténgase de hablar mientras otros están hablando, ya que es mandato legal de que los procedimientos sean grabados con precisión. Es posible que tengamos que pedir orden periódicamente si el ruido interfiere con nuestras capacidades de grabación. Nos complace que se hayan tomado el tiempo esta tarde para unirse a nosotros hoy. Estamos muy orgullosos de este sistema escolar y les damos gracias por su interés en las escuelas públicas de Hartford.
Thank you. We will now move on to the business agenda. Item 2.1, appointment of the Hartford Public Schools Superintendent, the board. Motion that the Hartford Board of Education hereby elects Dr. Andre Townsell to the office of Hartford Superintendent of Schools pursuant to the provision of the Connecticut General Statute Section 10-157 and further resolved that the Board of Education further authorizes Chairperson Hockenhall to negotiate and execute an employment contract with the new Superintendent of Schools on behalf of the Board to include the beginning date and term of office. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Tonight we will be taking action on the appointment of the next superintendent of Hartford Public Schools. As a recap of the process, the board engaged an outside search firm in early spring 2025 in order to keep this process confidential and professional at all times. The firm assisted with gathering unfiltered feedback from the community at large that was shared with the board, which allowed for many highly qualified candidates to express interest in serving Hartford Public Schools. We heard our community's voice through many different avenues. We received input in a variety of ways, including 700 surveys, 30 virtual and in-person meetings with an estimated 86 stakeholders for focus groups and one-on-one meetings. We hosted 3 town hall meetings, and we had countless conversations with the community through our board members. The information was gathered, summarized, and used to construct a leadership profile. This leadership profile is a comprehensive list of important qualifications that the board used while reviewing applicants' information. Each applicant submitted a letter of intent, a resume, letters of recommendation, college transcripts, and a 4-question video interview. Our search firm reviewed all 40 candidates and recommended their top 8 candidates in 2 tiers for our review. The board also chose to review several individuals who did not make the top 2 tiers but who were from the district. Because the applications included video responses, the application process was quite similar to a first-round interview. While we have heard that those not on the board were not able to participate and have a voice, I would like to emphasize that this is a board of 9 members who truly represent the Hartford community. As a board, we are current teachers and former Hartford Public School teachers, close family members of current and former HPS staff, parents of current and graduated HPS students, members of the LGBTQ+ community leaders and activists, Hartford natives, parents of students with special needs, immigrants, graduates of HPS, children of trade workers, and we are diverse in our professional careers. We have lawyers, project managers, community activists, municipal government leaders, nonprofit leaders, and teachers, just to name a few. And we represent many other groups not listed here. The board is incredibly diverse in both personal and professional experiences. We are all very committed to the work at hand and to serving our Hartford Public Schools community. We hope this is clear during our board meetings and when you speak with us one-on-one. This work is incredibly important and difficult, and we have not taken the superintendent search lightly. We are proud of the work we have done in order to recruit the talented individuals who applied for this role. The fact that there were 40 individuals ready and willing to serve this community says so much about the incredible and challenging work ahead for our next leader. Tonight, our board is here to vote on the appointment of Dr. Andre Townsell as our next superintendent. Dr. Andre Townsell was born and raised in the beautiful city of Detroit, Michigan. As a student athlete at Cass Technical High School and a graduate of Detroit Public Schools, he earned a football scholarship to Howard University in Washington, D.C., a path that ultimately led him to earn a bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degree from the esteemed institution. Dr. Townsell began his educational journey in the District of Columbia and has since held nearly every position in the K-12 education system, including student teacher, head coach, assistant dean, dean of students, central office specialist, assistant principal, assistant superintendent, and now a highly effective superintendent. His well-rounded experience combined with a deep commitment to educational excellence and student success has made him a respected and transformational leader in every district he has served. Currently serving as superintendent of Calvert County Public Schools in Maryland, Dr. Townsell has been recognized for exceeding expectations in leadership, elevating the district's ranking to the 4th best in the state. He was unanimously elected president of the Public School Superintendents Association of Maryland for the 24-25 school year. Known for his bold vision, student-centered leadership, and signature motto, set the bar, meet the bar, exceed the bar, raise the bar, Dr. Townsell brings passion, innovation, and results to every school community he leads. Before we move to vote on this motion, I will go around the table to see if any of my fellow board members would like to say a few words. I'll start with Ms. Brody.
Good evening. I don't have much to say, just that I'm delighted that we all agreed on Dr. Townsell. I believe for the first time in a long time, hope will be restored, to not only our families, our students, to our staff, and just to our city in general. I know that now some of the things that we all dreamed about for years, possibly even I can probably say decades, that I'm confident that we will accomplish under his leadership. I think that we will be delighted, we will be enthused. We will all have the desire to work together, to partner in the work, but keeping students at the center. That was what was most attractive to me, that students are at the center. So I'm just excited about our vote tonight.
Thanks, Ms. Brody. Mr. Wilson?
I would just echo what Board Member Brody has said, and I would offer up to the community, this is a huge opportunity to steer the ship in the right direction. So I would hope that everyone keeps an open mind and is willing to roll up their sleeves and get to work in support of, like Ms. Brody said, having the students first and trying to get this district headed in the right direction. So that's all I have to say.
Thanks, Mr. Wilson. Mr. Estelle Ledger?
I want to say welcome to Hartford Public Schools. I'm excited because I have my own motto of you can't be what you can't see. And children will see someone who, a lot of children in the community in Hartford Public Schools will see someone who looks like them, someone that they can possibly relate to. In looking at in Dr. Townsell's resume, his credentials, he has served pretty much in just about every capacity with regards to from teacher to administrator to principal to assistant superintendent, I believe superintendent, but he has served in many of the roles that we as a board will be voting on with regards to contracts. So he has a frame of reference. He can relate, it's relatable, and there is that cultural competency that I'm able to see. So I'm very confident that we are taking a step in the right direction. So welcome to Hartford.
Thanks, Mr. Estelle Ledger. Mr. Mills?
Hello, everybody. It is I. I just want to say that this was an exhaustive and comprehensive process. I firmly believe we have the most qualified candidate. I'm excited for him, I'm excited for us, I'm excited for the staff, but most importantly, I'm excited for all of our students. You know, he has worked in every single level of the school system, so everybody who said that they wanted a teacher, well, we got a teacher. Everybody who said that they wanted somebody with principal experience, we have a principal. You know, he was clearly an athlete, so that's cool. So I'm excited for what that means for our athletic program. You know, and during the interview process, I asked a question about libraries because I care about libraries and books, and he seemed really supportive about that as well. So, you know, I'm excited, and I'm excited for you all to meet him as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Mills. Ms. Fortune?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Today is an exciting day for Hartford Public Schools. I've had the honor and privilege of serving on this board for a year now. My two older children have only ever attended Hartford Public Schools, and my youngest will start pre-K3 in the same school as her siblings. It is my hope that all three of my children will graduate from Hartford Public Schools, so my legal obligation as a board member and my personal interest in ensuring my own children receive a superb public education are aligned. What has struck me the most during my tenure on this board is that not every Hartford student gets the same educational experience in the classroom. I've listened to a mother testify in front of us to say her child was going to school without a science, math, English, and STEM teacher. Another mother said her child with Down syndrome was receiving critical services virtually, a method of delivery that did not meet her daughter's needs. I've also listened to our own students testify. A recent graduate from HMCCA who will be attending Yale in the fall, elementary students from Noah Webster who waited hours to testify at a city council budget hearing to advocate for more funding for Hartford Public Schools, high school seniors who share their capstones about the disparities and inequities in our education system nationwide, including here in Hartford. I've listened to teachers within our schools who beg for more resources for their classrooms and who come here to tell us the hard truths. I've also seen teachers and principals celebrate major wins with their students for their academic and artistic achievements. All of those stories, the community's input, as our board chair has so eloquently stated, and my deep belief in public education for all children have informed my vote tonight. There's an old saying that says, a mother is only as happy as her unhappiest child. Well, as a board member, I will only be happy when the students who are the hardest to teach also receive the quality education they deserve. My hope is that the appointment of Dr. Townsell tonight will reinvigorate and re-energize Hartford Public Schools. However, a new superintendent alone cannot fix everything. There are structural and systemic issues that run deep. After this vote, we must continue as a community to work hard, to advocate, to tell hard truths, and celebrate our wins, our students' wins along the way, until every child in Hartford Public Schools gets the education that child deserves.
Thank you, Ms. Fortune. Ms. Estrada Perez.
Thank you. Thank you, and thank you for sharing those words, Board Member Fortune. That was beautifully put. And I think part of what I wanted to share with, and just in agreement with what other folks have shared already, but also to add how important it was to have your perspective, listening to parents, students, educators, staff members, support staff, the folks who really make sure that our schools are running every day and who understands these systems the most, right? The recognition, the importance that they had somebody who understood their roles in the spaces that they carry, how their roles interact with young people, and the importance of leadership, not just for adults, but also for the young people, to be able to say we are listening and actually engaging in that process. So I really, I'm excited that this is a new era where we can have a new leader who is committed to equity and justice, which is such an important conversation that we need to have here in Hartford, who's willing to show up and willing to engage, because often there's this narrative that our families are not engaged or that community is not engaged, which is not true. Parents are engaged, community is engaged, young people are engaged, we see you, we hear you, but it also takes us to be in those spaces with you, to show up where you are, and it was really important to have somebody with a committed record of showing up to where people were at, to making sure that they use all of the venues that they had at their disposal, because it's not, we can't lead from ivory towers, we have to lead from the ground, from the people, from the young people, from the leaders that shape our schools every day. We have a lot of things to tackle, and like Board Member Fortune said, these are some structural institutional issues that we are going to be challenging and that we are going to be going through together. And what better way than to be able to do it with new leadership, with new vision, in relationship, right? It can't be one person, in relationship with the board, in relationship with community, with students and educators, to make sure that we're tackling those things that are most important. And part of that is the quality of our schooling and our kids' ability to. And finally, I'll wrap up by saying I was one of those students that barely made it out of high school. It took a lot of, I was a really good student until I was going through something really tough, which is a lot of what our young people are experiencing. And it took a lot of adults to make sure that I made it through the finish line. It took a lot of adults to make sure that I could do this. And so I want to make sure that we are surrounded by adults that want that for our young people, that inspire our young people, that are there with our families and our young people, that don't problematize our communities, but engage with them. And so for that, I'm really excited to be here and to see what this new journey together will look like for all of us. And excited to know that it's someone that is willing and able and excited to be out and about and to hear from you all directly. So with that, thank you and welcome.
Thanks, Ms. Estrada Perez. And I want to acknowledge that Mr. Walker has joined us, but he has let me know that he does not wish to make any comments at this time. So thank you for being here, Mr. Walker, as well. Before I move back to the motion, were there any other final thoughts that anybody wanted to add? Ms. Daristalager?
Yes, thank you so much. I just wanted to mention, as a Montessori parent, Montessori educator, I wanted to just let you know, if you didn't already know, that we have 2 amazing public Montessori schools in Hartford, and I can't wait until you visit them. They're amazing. And one in particular has something called an adolescent program, which is called, we call that an Erdkinder. So one of the issues that has been pressing for that is the students are not able, the older students who are in the adolescent program are not able to go to the farm, which is where they're supposed to spend about 50% of their time, because that's part of the curriculum. So apparently it's classified as a field trip. So if funding is ever cut or field trips are put on pause, then those students, it makes it difficult for them to go to the farm so that they can continue to access their learning that is part of the curriculum. So I know that there were many parents who came. There were teachers who teach those adolescent students, and they were looking to see if we could look at the policy or look at the classification of those outings to go to the farm, which is part of the curriculum, to be included in the curriculum as opposed to being considered a field trip. So I said what I said, and I wanted, as a board member, I do my best to speak for parents who come to me, teachers who come to me, students who come to me. So I wanted to make sure that I let you know that there's an amazing Montessori community within Hartford Public Schools that is ready to greet you with open arms.
Thanks, Ms. Darristell-Ledger. Any other hands before we move back to the motion? Seeing none. All right, the motion on the floor is that the Hartford Board of Education hereby elects Dr. Andre Townsell to the office of Hartford Superintendent of Schools pursuant to the provisions of Connecticut General Statute Section 10-157, and further resolved that the Board of Education further authorizes Chairperson Hockenhall to negotiate and execute an employment agreement with the new Superintendent of Schools on behalf of the Board to include a beginning date and a term of office. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Nays? Abstentions? The ayes have it. The motion moves. We hope that you will take time to welcome and get to know the incoming superintendent as he begins to serve this great community. I hope you will join us in providing your support as we all come together to do what's best for our students, which is, after all, our collective mission and goal. Dr. Townsell will spend the next few months meeting with individuals and groups, as well as meeting in town hall settings before the start of the school year. I will be working to finalize the contract with Dr. Townsell, including his start date, over the next week. And just as a note, Dr. Torres Rodriguez's last day with the district will be August 29th. Before I turn this over to Dr. Townsell for a few words, I wanted to take a moment to thank each and every board member here tonight and virtually. This process has been incredibly difficult. I am grateful for the time we spent together deliberating every step of the way. Your individual experiences and your passion allowed us to get where we are tonight, and I am honored to have gone through this process alongside you. I would also like to add a huge thank you to our families and our employers for allowing us the time we needed to appropriately devote to this process. We couldn't have done this without your support as well. And thank you to JG Consulting for guiding us through this process. We are truly grateful to everyone who is part of this process. And with that, I would love to throw this over to Dr. Townsell for a few words.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm so excited about this opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, my goal is to ultimately work collaboratively with everyone that's invested in public education right here. And ultimately, we're looking to enhance the student experience and over time increase academic achievement. And when we talk about that, the goal is to focus not just on the lowest performing or the highest performing, it's the floor and the ceiling at the same time. When I say raise the bar, set the bar, meet the bar, exceed the bar, raise the bar, it's a process. Change is not an event, change is a process. Once we all work together collaboratively as a team, this is Team Calvert County, we will add value to all of our young people and ensure that they're going off into post-secondary success, whether it's career, military, college. They're going off into our global society prepared, and that's the #1 goal. So when we talk about Hartford Public Schools, the question is, when they're on this journey, what do they get when they walk out? We want our young people to be engaged citizens, empowered learners, communicators, collaborators, and even in the world of artificial intelligence, critical thinkers, because the best helping hands that they will ever receive when they get out to society are at the end of their own 2 arms. So I'm here to add value, to work collaboratively with every organization, community member, family member, and ensure that the next move for our young people is their best move. So with that, I will park my bus. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for the opportunity, and I look forward to serving in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Townsell. I'm looking forward to being back in town and seeing you and seeing everyone else who's there tonight and who's watching us on the video stream tonight. And with that, the July 1st, 2025 Special Board of Education meeting is adjourned. Thank you for joining us. Take care.